It's getting a bit breezy out there. Cozy up. Hi and welcome to Not That Deep. Well, we're not that deep, but we also realize it's not that deep. Today is Knit and Stitch. So we're off to Alexandra Palace in North London. I've made it, but the queue is crazy long behind me already. I basically had to go back a whole extra bus stop to join the queue. But yeah, so we're here. We've just got through to the Knit and Stitch show, so we're just about to start having a look around. It's super busy here today, but let's go and see what they've got for us.
Have a good day. Enjoy yourself.
She says, "Oh, I like that." Yes. I like it. Yeah, no, I like it a lot. That's quite Japanese, isn't it?
I'm sorry, no, alright. It's alright.
But there's also white.
One of the things that we did when we got in was had a bit of a beeline through the gallery because I was conscious that there were quite a few workshops that I wanted to see. So I did have a little bit of an itinerary of my day, sort of a calendar set up, but I did also want to make sure that I saw as much as possible. So my experience from the Festival of Quilts, if you saw my last video, there was just so much to see in such little time. So I was just conscious that I really wanted to make it productive. So did a bit of a beeline towards the live stage where we went to see Wendy Nolan, I believe her name is, speaking about Indian treasures and the textiles and the techniques used in getting Indian fabrics to look the way they are. Which was really interesting. I mean, I was really engaged for the whole session, and there were so many different techniques she spoke about, and things that she then uses in her work as inspiration. So that was really interesting. There was also so many creative stands that the creativity was just so cool. So some of my favorites were the stand for Toft, which was almost all set up to be a bit of a hot dog stand, so you could see hot dogs, you could see fries, all in crochet with their yarns and things. So that was really cool. There was also a guy that was showing how to sort of do sublimation using like marbling techniques with dyes, and how everything was sort of completely unique. Like you weren't going to create the same piece ever again.
There you go. I could never get that ever again. It's a unique little front. And so we go.
So that was really cool to watch as well. I also saw, I mean, I'm pretty immature, so there's that. But there was this stand called Nudie Knits, and they had the most inappropriate knitted pieces, but I loved it. They were great. I thought they were actually awesome. I just saw that one.
Oh, what, my one? Yeah.
Just saw that. Very nice. So I straight away followed them on Instagram. But it was awesome. I really liked it. They also had a challenge. They did this challenge, like a 45 minutes upcycling challenge, where people had to take what looked like an old pair of jeans and actually turn it into another wearable.
Over 10 seconds, everybody. You've got 10 seconds, so I think it's only Tony that needs to worry about that. So, oh, that's looking really cool. 3, 2, 1. Drape your mannequin. As Lizzie said last time.
There were 3 different contestants and they had to do this live. So kudos to them for actually doing this live on stage in front of all of us. Personally, my favorite was done by the lady at the back, and she sort of turned it into a kimono, I don't know, shirt piece thing. So that was really cool. Somebody else sort of made a 2-piece, like a bikini and skirt set, and then somebody else turned it into a bit of like a waistcoat with ribbons. So again, that was really nice. Eventually we got to looking around the gallery, and there was such a range of different things. There was like sculptural pieces that, I mean, wow. And you could sort of see the thought process behind how they actually sort of thought the projects through and how they put it together. So that was really, really cool to see. And again, it's sort of just pushing the boat out on what's actually in the art of the possible with sewing and stitching and knitting. Again, I mean, the creativity of some people is really mind-blowing, because I mean, the kind of thing that I'm sort of going to gravitate to is like a hat or a scarf. Potentially some amigurumi, I can never say that word, but like some stuffed toys. But yeah, like people are doing some really amazing things out there. So that was really, really inspiring to see as well. But I think it's also worth looking at some of the other pieces that people put together. So I saw this jacket. I mean, structurally it had a lot of shape, but it was made out of Waitrose bags. Like, what? I absolutely loved it. And I think the artist's name is Emily Cox. I sort of scrolled down onto it as I was filming the coat, but I absolutely loved it. I just thought it was, what an interesting use of something that would normally just get hopefully reused, but eventually sort of just thrown away like that. I really liked that as an idea. So I did spend quite a bit of time just gawking at it. But again, it's sort of reminding me to sort of practice and get better at using patterns. I have said that before. I'm not necessarily the best at following a pattern. So that again just sort of highlights what's in the art of the possible once I get better at that. That comes around. The chocolate is really nice. Undyed Shetland. Ooh. It really smells like the animal. Ooh, there's a Prosecco bar. Not that I can go. Also, they had a catwalk show on, and if you remember from my last video where I went to the quilting show in Birmingham, that is like almost always one of my favorite bits of the show. So straight away, I was completely engaged. Absolutely loved it. Some amazing pieces that people have put together. Just so cool. There was one shirt that somebody had put together. It was like orange, chunky in it. So you'll probably see it in the walk around that the contestants are going to do on screen. But I really love that. And it's given me a couple of ideas of things that I want to make for my husband as well. So that was really cool. But it also sort of, or reminds me, I should say, of what is possible, or in the art of the possible, if I'm able to keep practicing, because I'm not quite there yet, but the aim is to get there. So really good to see that. That was really, really nice. One of the things I will say is the security and the staff at this event, they were all so lovely, so helpful. Like, I mean, I was there with a pram, but they were all just so helpful. So I do want to give a bit of a shout out to the Knit and Stitch organizers and the staff, because yeah, as a attendee, I couldn't fault them. They absolutely added to the pleasant experience of actually being at that show. So that was really cool. I will also add that it was so busy, so you can sort of see me battling against sort of the traffic.
Sorry.
In between the stands, and because there was so much to see, and it's not a negative, it kind of just highlights just how much there was to see in between different stands and going between shows. Yeah, but I will also say, so I was trying to behave and didn't want to sort of just impulse buy, but I did grab a few bits. It's actually really busy up there, but I've managed to get a few bits that I may be showing later on. For now, we're gonna leave it there, and then we'll catch up again later. One thing that did sort of occur to me is that when I was sort of looking at the prices there, it kind of only made sense because people were sort of stacking bags and bags. And then sort of looking at some of the prices, I had done a bit of a purchase. I did an online order, I think sort of the week before. So I got a few bits in for myself. But then I realized that actually things were a little bit more cost effective at the show, but I'd already bought this stuff. So I thought, so I will say, obviously, check the prices where you are. Disclaimer, I'm not going to say that it's cheaper than everywhere, but I did see some things that were a lot more cost effective than I would ordinarily have thought. I did bump into a lady actually in the lifts at one point, and she said she had a whole trolley full of stuff. I was like, oh, you've had a good day, haven't you? And she was like, I think she said last year she had actually bought about 55 yards of fabric. So she was actually doing, you know, she was well behaved this year, bless her. And it just goes to show people like come there with, it appears people come there with like either shopping lists of what they need and go crazy, or they're a lot more impulsive than I am. I don't know, but let me know if you went to an event like this, would you just be impulsive? To be fair, the temptation is absolutely real, I will say that. So I did give in eventually. I did get a few bits. Let me show you what I got. So I got one bag of stuff, and to be fair, it's not that much, but I will say, so it's 3 items, of which this is one of them. Basically, I got 2 of these. I got 2 sets of this yarn, mainly because I'm hoping, and you probably saw me sort of wrestling to get through to get these, but I'm hoping to use these. I don't know how much I'm going to need, but I'm hoping to make a shirt for my husband, so, and my son. So I want them to be twinning in this. I don't know how much I'm going to need. I don't know how much I'm going to end up using. But it's going to be one of the bigger projects I've had to do. So I'm hoping I do it right, number one, and that it's actually looks good enough for them to wear. So these were the first 2 bits. No, second bits I actually got. But I'm really excited to use that. And then the other thing that I got was, if you watched my other video where I tried my hand at creating a quilt block, I kind of really wanted a quilting ruler. Now I didn't have one, so I got this one. This one has slits through it, so I'm hoping that it should help with, like, you know, cutting through, she says. But I've never had one of these, so I'm hoping that I've sort of made the right choice of a first quilting ruler. It is clearly quite bulky, but I am hoping to get quite a lot of use out of that. So hopefully I haven't sort of gone in and bought the wrong one straight away. So we'll see. And also it's going to allow me to do a bit more quilting. So it's kind of my girl math logic at this point. So we'll see. But all in all, it was my first knit and stitch show. I highly doubt it's going to be my last. So I'm really already looking forward to next year. What I will do personally is start making a bit of a list. I think I will try and see if it's possible to keep sort of a running list of the things that I need, so that when I do go to events like that, where things do appear to be a little bit more cost effective, and even then, you do have to shop around within the shops, the stands at the event. So, you know, I'm not just saying that it's just everywhere. It just, I found some decent prices at decent stands. I think, I can't remember the name of the stand at which I got the ruler, so I'll try and find that. But these were, as they say on the packaging, yarn outlet. Yes, I think I'll probably try and keep a running list of the things that I need, so that I can take that list to festivals or shows like this and actually try and find them there, just to keep things affordable. But yeah, I thought it was great. The one thing I will say is I kind of did myself a disservice, because even though I walked around quite a few times and I did have the app, I didn't use the floor plan function on the app, and I didn't realize that there were quilts on the other side, so I completely missed that, and I'm gutted that I wasn't able to see it. But I did see quite a lot at the Festival of Quilts in Birmingham, so I'm kind of just hanging on to that, and yeah, hoping that next time I do go, hopefully I'm a little bit more comprehensive about what I am able to see. So yeah, I mean, so that was a bit of my roundup from the Knit and Stitch Show 2025. Did you go? What did you see? Did I miss anything? Other than the quilts, obviously. But what did you think? Have I inspired you to go? Let me know in the comments. If you liked this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so that you don't miss out on anything else that I'm going to be producing on this channel. And hopefully I'll see you again in my next one. Thanks so much for watching.